Hello, welcome back to the Torzelbaum Destil rematch. For some reason, the game picked up the old save data. I have no idea how that happened, since I just reloaded the save file that I was already on, and it had the correct stats for Torzelbaum's team. Your guess is as good as mine, but let's give this another go. The principal difference here is going to be that Torzelbaum's knight has 40 faith instead of 70. So she's also got an Excalibur. That makes a difference too, I guess. You know. I'm pretty sure that the setup that we had in the last video was Torzelbaum's initial team. This is, of course, his revised team, and I have no idea how his original team could have gotten onto this particular save file to begin with, but here we are. This is already a little less lopsided a battle than last time, given that, you know, Torzelbaum has survived multiple rounds at this point. That wizard has Chantage on, so she's going to be spending a few of her turns casting Cure 3. That is just the way things go. Personally, I think I would have put Raise 2 on a unit with Chantage, but that's just me. Then again, the knight does have low faith. Then again, the wizard has a wizard rod, so or a faith rod. That is a huge amount of healing off of that Cure 3, though. Again, in case you've forgotten these teams set up, Destil's Knight has maintenance, Torzelbaum's has concentrate. And Destil's priest has black magic frog instead of flare on Torzelbaum's team. It's kind of a liability. I guess the knight is not protected from frog, but she does have the escutcheon, so it's got a very low chance of hitting, especially when you factor in her faith. It's funny, just a couple of equipment changes and suddenly that knight is a real pain in Destil's neck. It's going to be hard for him to take her down, and his best bet is going to be the equipment break, since she has concentrate instead of maintenance, as I mentioned earlier. This map gives a whole new meaning to the term Blind Alley. Wizard falls down again. Now, we have not actually seen a lot of offense out of Torzelbaum's team, is the only thing. Which is the main reason why I want to say that Destil still has this one. On the other hand, it's not like he's done anything to Torzelbaum either. aside from give that wizard a few dirt naps. Now, Destil has mentioned that his team is sort of designed around the math skill mirror match, and these are two very similar teams. Even so, we are not seeing a particular advantage for Destil out of this. Speed break is going to be a huge deal. That 2 speed modified by the priest's haste is an effective 3 speed decrease. Now, when we talk about attrition in this format, it's all about the lasting effects like that. Death is so often an inconvenience when we've got chantages flying around. All but one of the teams in the tournament, I believe, and that would be Private Jokers, of course. Now I take it back. It looks like Destil's priest does not actually have haste. Hard to tell at this speed, especially at the frame rate you're getting over YouTube. But yeah, she's definitely not hasted. And in fact, she doesn't have anything affecting her speed. She's just got the base speed for a priest, which is slightly higher than average, or at least it was before she got that speed break. Now, one thing I do think was a bit of a mistake on Destil's part was putting in the chameleon robe on the priest. It does mean that she absorbs holy, but absorbing holy really doesn't... Oh, no. I take it back. She's not the one with the chantage. If she were, then definitely you don't really care about absorbing holy. A lot of teams, though, with that Settimson chantage setup, including mine, they are two of the best accessories in the game, hands down, for the auto haste and auto re-raise. Interestingly enough, Torzelbaum has chantage, but on his knight he's got salty rage instead, which is what's granting her permanent protect and shell. Now you can get that in your armor slot with Robe of Lords, but Robe of Lords is actually on his wizard instead. Which really is the only thing from keeping her from going down in a single holy. Robe of Lords also has the side benefit of increasing both PA and MA by a point, which I suspect is the real reason that he has it on the priest, given that the priest's health total is completely irrelevant with chantage in the equation. Now that this battle's gone on 10 minutes, it's easy to understand why Torzelbaum might have felt a little slighted by having his original team equips in the previous recording. The only lasting change that we've seen to either team is that speed break. Unfortunately, the knights are a bit loath to use their battle skill at this point. I'm not entirely sure, but I don't believe maintenance blocks the stat breaks. Which, for reference, the only stat break that Destil has is speed break. Which, maybe is the only stat break you need. Torzelbaum has all of the battle skills on his. Again, I think the biggest deficiency of Torzelbaum's team is that Cure 3. Every time the wizard comes back up, she's going to go for the Cure 3, and that's at best not very helpful, and at worst prolonging the battle when it targets Destil's units. Now, in terms of revival options, Destil's Knight does have revive from the punch art set. On the other hand, Torzelbaum has no way of reviving his knight, which is another reason that Raise 2 might have been a better option over Cure 3. The only thing is that the knight is tanky enough that might not matter. And of course, Destil's Priest has Raise 2, re-raise, all sorts of goodies. So if we want to see this battle get anywhere, it's got to be the priest that goes down if Torzelbaum's going to do it, and of course the knight on Torzelbaum's team needs to die for Destil to win. And that's not even approaching happening. I see that I missed a weapon break while I was glancing the other way, though, and that's definitely going to hurt Torzelbaum's odds. Frog misses. She does not have frog protection. I think I mentioned this earlier. Barehanded is not doing too much less than she was doing with Excalibur. The big losses from Excalibur are the haste and, of course, the holy absorption. More Cure 3. At this point, Torzelbaum's sort of treading water. If he wants to stay afloat, he needs to hope for a few more battle skills especially those speed breaks. Wizard's back down. And the wizard is, or the priest is slow casting something. Maybe another holy. Emphasis on slow, as it almost comes back to her turn before the spell resolves. The AI works in mysterious ways. Another cure 3. Now, if Destil were to get in a weapon break on the wizard, that would do him a lot of good. Those cure 3s would lose 30% of their effectiveness on most units, but it would actually be a lot more on the wizard herself. Well, still probably heal her to full. The real difference, though, would be the heals on the knight. Who, despite everything, is still not coming close to dying. Now that flare could very well put down the priest, which would be something, but not very much, because, of course, revive just brings her back up. Stars have to align for Torzelbaum to get a chance at that flare, though. And I do mean a chance. Then you have to factor in the odds of it getting through MP switch, which, not great. But here we go anyway. Completely guarded. That is because that priest has an Aegis shield. Perhaps this is what Destil meant when he said he was preparing for the mirror match. And Torzelbaum's knight finally eats it and is joined very quickly by the wizard. Congratulations on Torzelbaum for putting up much more of a fight this time around, but the winner remains Destil, and we will see him in the finals tomorrow.